But first this evening we're going to the other side of the country, to Clew Bay in County Mayo, an area which down through the generations made part of its living, at any rate, from the harvesting of seaweed. And indeed, that's something you'll find all along the West Coast communities, making a seasonal sort of living out of the harvesting of seaweed, and that sometimes became food, sometimes that seaweed was used in industry. However, times changed, and all that knowledge and indeed that business opportunity was much diminished and in danger of being lost as we turned to convenience food, packaged foods, and so on. However, the tide was then turned, so to speak, by a company called Low Tide Fine Foods, which was set up in 2005, and that managed to save all that knowledge which had been accumulated through the generations, that expertise in the use of seaweed, and that combined with modern research enabled them to devise a whole range of high quality and innovative products which they describe as sea vegetable products.
Clew Bay is a great place for seaweed. Clew Bay is a great place for everything. It's a great place to live. And if you can work your life, or work your work around your life, it's the only way to go. People might think like that, like, look at him, he's gone out there, you know what I mean, he spent 20 years, like he works as a head chef all over the place, big money, all the rest of it, and he's gone out there picking seaweed, picking shellfish, doing everything like that. But I see it a way of life, that Jesus, I couldn't live it any other way, Carmen couldn't live it any other way. The kids used to be crying when I'd be going to work in the morning, that they wouldn't see me at all, that I'd be gone all day and all night. And I don't have that anymore. Like, the quality of life is way better.
Seamus Moran and his family have made a living from the sea for 4 generations. In the 20 years that Seamus worked as a chef, he consistently used seaweeds such as carrageen mass and dillisk in his recipes. But during that time, he always aspired to starting his own business, based around the natural resources of Clew Bay. 3 years ago, Seamus and his wife Carmel set up Low Tide Fine Foods.
The sea is something else. It's so much riches to give, but people just don't utilise it enough. It's fantastic. And that was the whole thing behind it. Like, I went out to bay one day and I sat down and said, Jesus, if I can make it out of this, I can do it anywhere. We have 365 islands and islets here on Clew Bay. This one here we're on at the moment in Ishlire. We harvest carrageen mass, combo, small bit of dillisk and a bit of samphire off it. Crebnish here to the side of us. We get carrageen mass, we also get combo off Crebnish. And you have Durinch Moor and Durinch Berg behind us. And we get carrageen, dillisk, wakame, a bit of samphire as well off those islands. So these would be the areas that I would harvest the seaweed off around here. We hand harvest everything from between 3 and 4 miles out to sea at low tide. It's all transported back here then within a matter of hours under refrigeration. We get it in, we get it chilled down. Once we get it chilled down, it lets the seaweed sort of rest. The same as anything else, like it'll deteriorate if you don't get it refrigerated. So we get it down, we get it chilled down under less than 5 degrees. We have that done in about 2 hours. From that process then we put into a drying room, and we can dry 100 kilos in between 4 and 6 hours. At that point we have different processes we can do with it. We can mill it, we can make it into flour, we can sell it as dried seaweed the way it is, or we can chop it to any description people want for their own processes. At that point then it's all packed off and it's ready to go. At the moment, Low Tide produces 2 ranges of seaweed. A retail range under our own brand name, Low Tide, which would include varieties of sausages. We have a stout and seaweed, chili, garlic and seaweed, and a plain seaweed sausage. We also have a black and white pudding that are flavoured with the seaweed. The seaweed is a natural flavouring that's added to it. We also produce dried seaweeds. We produce carrageen mass, dulsk or dillisk, combo. We produce a sea spaghetti, a sea salad mix, and we also produce this fresh seaweed samphire. We also produce a range of seaweed products for the food ingredient market. today now we hadn't a bad day at all. We got corrigan moss, got there, nice bit of combo. We have jilsk, and we also have a nice bit of sea lettuce. So we'll get them inside and I'll cook you something for your tea. We work as a family. That, you know what I mean, I have 3 kids and they know more about seaweed, I'd say, than the vast majority of the population. Who wants a burger? Me! Who wants the seaweed? Me! Every time we have a new recipe or some new idea, we give it to the kids first. And like, they're the best subjects you could possibly have, because they'll soon tell you, you know, whether it's good or not. Like, we were making burgers the last night and I gave them to Daniel, like, and it would be a beef and seaweed burger. And he absolutely said, "They're brilliant, Dad. They're mighty. What have you in them?" And I told him, he says, "I knew you did. I knew you did."
That's lovely, Dad. Thanks.
No bother, Daniel. You're welcome. We're getting to the stage now like that. We can produce a quality product that we can sell on to people, and they can produce their own product from us. Satisfaction of starting a business, something that was there 100 years ago, we have it back. Well, 6 years ago, if somebody had said to me, "Seamus, you know, you're going to start harvesting seaweed and make a living from seaweed," I said, "You're mad, you know." But like, we're here six years down the line, we have fantastic products on the market. We're happy and it's a good place to be in. Long may it last.
Vegetables from the sea.